I walked away a champion. I got a lot of high fives in the locker room. All of that while I was getting changed. I was patted on the back by a bunch of people. That was really good, Eli. I'm like, damn right it was good. Yeah.
The sounds of the gymnasium, the feel of one good utility ball that still has some bounce. The focus fills your brain as you aim for your opponent, yet still conscious of the player who might be aiming for you. Dodgeball, the most intensive athletic pursuit of anyone under the age of 10. Few things are as exciting as the moment the gym teacher rolled out the bin of utility balls and split the class into teams. It's a sport not taken all that seriously by many over the age of 15, but Catherine Lang and her team, the Unathletics, enjoy the game well after the 10th grade. Eli, Zach, and Noah also shared their tales of triumph from the crucible of dodgeball.
I'm a legend basically there. Yeah, I'm a legend. Yeah, pretty much.
I try to get everybody to play dodgeball, but people don't seem to want to do it. I don't know, I think maybe people don't see, they're like, well, I played that in elementary school, it's not going to be fun to play as an adult, so there could be that. I think people think you need to be fit or have some sort of level of fitness to play, but you really don't. It can be exhausting sometimes if you're stuck out there, like if you're the last guy stuck out there. I'm sure you saw that a couple of times. You just keep getting balls thrown at you. That's exhausting, but it's not really hard physically to play dodgeball. And then I think people might be a bit scared. The big people throw balls at you and get bruises. Like the first season I came home with bruises, like welts on my legs. Huge, abuse-looking bruises.
The game can be dangerous if you don't go into it and setting up the expectations for how you're going to play safe. And that's where you have to start working with your students at the beginning, starting with a simple game and then building the complexity of the game. So you start going, you can't hit anybody above the shoulders and below the belt. And so that sets up a beginning for where you do that. If you hit anybody outside of that zone, it doesn't count. So you lose the ball, you lose a player from your team. So you start developing the kids in such a way that they understand the control aspect of the game first rather than the competitive aspect. And then as they get older or as they get more in control of their skills, you can loosen the rules up a little bit and then have more of an element of danger to it.
I like the aggression. I like that you can throw balls really hard at people and they're like, that's the whole point of the game. You get to hurt people a little bit.
Wow.
That's a good reason. That's a good reason to play a sport. No?
Because you want to hurt people.
You're allowed to hurt. The whole point of the sport is to hurt people a little bit. I also like the people I play with. I have a couple of the people on the team I've known for like 10, 12 years. So it's a good chance to spend time with them in an atmosphere that's fun. And I've made some really good new friends too. Social, it's a good social aspect of it.
Well, there's normal dodgeball, like Fortress, Hunger Games, Hit the Ram, Bench Island, and those are the ones I can think off the top of my head, really.
There's lots of different benefits to playing dodgeball with the students, especially in the 8 to 12-year-old range. It allows them to practice their basic skills. Helps them develop body awareness, which is one of those crossover skills that you use in all of the sports. So knowing where your body is and how to move it quickly, so you don't sprain an ankle, you don't cross your legs, being aware of where the ball is. The nice thing about dodgeball is you can play the game with one ball or with several balls or with 7 or 8, and then it increases the complexity of the game and allows the students to be more aware of action in different parts of the field. So this becomes a crossover skill that helps the students in other team sports as well as individual sports. Of course, there's the basic skills of throwing and catching, and of course, dodging.
But this recent week, we did play dodgeball, and it was amazing. Favorite version? That's a tough one because you've got the classics that I played in elementary, like Dr. Dodge and 3 on a Bench and that kind of stuff, which I really haven't played those in a long time. Like, it's been years. Memories, But more of the recent ones that I've done, I've probably, there's this one, I forget what it's called, but basically if you're hit, you go to the opposition's, like the back of the gym, and you're pretty much in jail until someone on your team can throw the ball to the back of the gym, and you catch it, and then you're back in. Not sure what it's called, but that's the most recent I've played, and I haven't played much dodgeball this year, which is kind of sad, honestly.
We had one time where one of our guys, oh my goodness, so his name is Trent, and he plays rugby for the same club as we play rugby for. So he's like this young 19-year-old, like jacked up guy, and he's just testosterone. It's ridiculous. And the other team was egging on the girls and like throwing the balls really hard at the girls, which I think is fine because we're playing sports with boys. We should be able to like take it. But he got really, really upset with the other team, and there was almost a fist fight. Like, yeah, the QC, she was like, okay, you're out, get out, you have to leave, and kicked the guy out, and it was ridiculous. That's probably the best story.
Well, I don't like play it as a sport outside of school, but I do play it a lot at school.
Well, I don't think there's any age range to it. Ideally, you want the kids to be old enough that they can understand that being hit with a ball isn't a dangerous thing, so they want to trust the people they're playing with. I've played it with students as young as 5 and 6. What you want to be able to do is help build that understanding of fair play and sportsmanship, and then I've even played it as an adult, so I don't think there's any limit to the ages.
Yeah, but it's fun. You had fun when you played in elementary school. Most people you should talk to the kids. They came home this week with 2 epic dodgeball stories. Like, we talked about it for 25 minutes, about how epic their dodgeball games were.
So we were split up into 2 teams. It was about 30 versus 30, so this is 60 sweaty kids packed in a gym. Now, the balls were lined up like across the middle of the gym, and the gym teacher blew his whistle and everyone charged. I held back with a couple of my friends because we realized, you know what, let's just wait for the dodgeballs to come to us. So one thing led to another. I had gotten a bunch of people out because no, I'm just kidding, I'm not. But I got a couple people out, and I hadn't been in jail yet. So slowly but surely our team's numbers decreased, and they were just decreasing, and eventually we were left with about 11 kids left, and they had like 27 or 28, so their team was clearly a bit better. And eventually it came down to just me. I was the last person left of 30 kids that was still playing. The other 29 were back in the jail, and I had to throw the ball over to them to get them back in. But I couldn't do it because of the amount of kids that were on the other side. So it was pretty scary having 30 kids toss dodgeballs at you while you're the only one left, and everyone's screaming, and you're sweaty, and you're scared, and you don't know what to do because you want to catch a ball, but you also want to throw it to your teammates, but it was just a confusing time. I didn't know what to do. Everybody was screaming, and I was scared. So one thing led to another. I got around 6 or 7 people out, so it was now like 22, 23 or so, like versus just me still. And I had been the only person on my side of the gym on my team left for a good like 8 or 9 minutes. So it was long. I fought well, but unfortunately I did get out, but I was praised. The other team came over, they're like, that was amazing, Eli, amazing. And then my team was like, you legend, oh, amazing. And I'm like, yeah, you know what, that was decent. So that's my dodgeball story.
So we play this thing called Hunger Games, and it's basically Hunger Games. So there's a bunch of dodgeballs set up in the middle. It's kind of free-for-all, but you can make alliances, and I was the final person with one other person. Then we went back to back. We started walking, and then when our gym teacher said go, then we had to turn and throw the dodgeballs at each other. I dodged his, threw it at him, and then I hit him, I won, and everyone started running in and was like, yeah, Noah, yeah. Yeah. Good memories. Yeah, good memories.
We do. We sit around it. They always ask if we won, because it's very important to them to make sure that we're winning. If we didn't win, they want to know what happened, like who screwed up. And then they want to tell me about when they were at dodgeball. They're like, I was the last guy on, and then I caught somebody's ball, and then I hit somebody else, and everybody was like, ah. It's very involved storytelling.
Some feel the best part about dodgeball is that although it's a sport that's not taken too seriously, it's also a sport that doesn't take itself too seriously.